Every January, we do the same thing. We make resolutions about what we're going to do. Lose 15 pounds, put on muscle, get the degree, start the business, be available for love. But the uncomfortable truth is that you already know what to do, and you've known that for a long time. Google is a thing. So if knowing what to do were the issue, you would have changed a long time ago. What most people never stop to examine is why they refuse to do what they claim they want to do. And the part that most of us don't want to face is that there is always a gain, even in the pain. No one stays stuck for no reason. So the real question isn't, what should I do? It's, what agenda am I actually committed to? The agenda of proving I was right, even when being right hasn't produced the life I want. The agenda of protecting my pride instead of risking failure. The agenda of staying loyal to a version of myself that once kept me safe but now keeps me small. The agenda of avoiding disappointment by never fully trying. That's not a motivation problem. That's a story problem. Your story decides who you are and who you're not, what you do and what you don't do. It assigns you an archetype and quietly asks you to stay in character. The hero who carries everything alone, the victim who never gets a fair shot, the easygoing one who never needs anything, the people pleaser who keeps the peace at their own expense, the boss chick who doesn't need help, softness, or support. Your story is the writer, producer, actor, and director of your life. As long as you stay loyal to the role, the plot never changes. We don't resist change because we're lazy. We resist change because changing would force us to rewrite the story we've been living inside. And here's more truth you'll need to hear this year. Our hyper-individualistic, alpha man, boss chick culture will fail you this year. Because you cannot change by leaning on the same strategies you've leaned on your entire life, especially the strategy of doing everything alone. Real change requires disrupting our old beliefs and support. But our culture teaches us that asking for help means we've failed. So instead of reaching out to people who could actually challenge us or tell us the truth, we do something safer. We scroll and we consume. We look for answers on social media. That way, we can keep the appearance of having it all together. We don't have to admit confusion, and we don't have to risk being seen. So we stay polished in public while slowly drowning in private. If you want this year to be different, stop asking, what am I going to do? And ask, what do I gain by not changing? The answer is never nothing. We always gain something. Sometimes the gain is not having to grieve the realization that we weren't just hurt, but we were also our own villain in our own story. Sometimes it's not having to admit the humbling truth that I didn't actually know what I was doing. Because real change requires admitting I didn't know. And most people would rather protect their story than risk rewriting it. So let yourself breathe. The culture wants you to choose a New Year's resolution now, so you'll have something to say, something to post, or something to belong to. But the uncomfortable truth is that our desire for connection, approval, and fitting in is often exactly what sabotages our goals. You don't have to set a resolution this week. You don't need a new strategy right now. What you need is witness. Witness the story you've been living, the role you've been performing, and the identity you've been protecting. Change doesn't start with certainty or clarity about your next steps, and it doesn't start with confidence. It starts with humility and with rest from the performance of pretending to be someone you never were. May this new year give you permission to lay down the story that's quietly sabotaging your peace, purpose, and personal power. With love, Coach Mel.